Hey guys, Kurt here with NK Garage and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here at NK Garage, we focus on tools, vintage tools, antique tools, even modern tools. We like to find tools at the flea market, tag sales, estate sales, Facebook Marketplace, and even tool shows. And today's episode is all about free tools and stuff. So I got a couple different lots of different things that came to me during the last month or so, and I figured I'd show you guys, take you along on a little tour of what we found. First off, this section of the table, we were up in Lake George. We like to go island camping, which if you're not familiar with, it's where you take a boat and you go to an island on the lake, on Lake George, where you do camping. A lot of swimming, a lot of boating. You can do fishing too, sightseeing, all that kind of stuff. So while we were up in Lake George, we used Nick's grandparents' house as like a home base, just somewhere where we store the truck and the boat trailer and everything. And we've been helping them clean out the garage. So we took these items out of the garage that nobody wanted anymore, including this vintage Borden's box, property of Borden's. Nice heavy-duty wooden box. Graphics on it are really nice. It's in really good shape. Pretty cool. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use it for, but I think it would make a good display piece. I'll turn it into something at some point. Inside the box, got a bunch of old stain. So this is probably one of the older ones, a redwood stain. This is Minwax poly stain. This is Jacobian. Then we got satin honey and red oak. And this stuff is good for doing tool restorations, cleanups, especially on wood handles and stuff like that. I'm hoping it's good. I don't think this stuff goes bad too fast, but some of them are newer, some of them are older. Next up, we found this in the back of the garage. It's a Sears inductive timing light. Pretty cool. In the original box, the original price tag was $34.99. Nick's grandfather probably bought this to do a timing job. Maybe used it once or twice. There is the gun. So it's complete. We have the gun, the instruction manual, and the clip-on wires. So everything you need to do basic timing. Made in USA. Pretty cool. So the next section, this is all stuff that my father got. Now, instead of getting garbage service in our town, you have the option to bring your garbage to the transfer station. So you get a permit, you pay for the year, a couple $100, and you can bring all your garbage there. It pretty much accept everything but like paint and like industrial chemicals and gasoline. Can't bring like any of that stuff, but you can bring brush, regular trash, recyclables, cardboard, newspaper, and metal. So they have a whole big dumpster full of metal that people throw out. So I lent my dad a magnetic tool just like this one so he can kind of reach in there when he sees something. Because sometimes the stuff isn't quite on the top. So first up, we got this DeWalt. I don't know why somebody threw this out, but they did. Nice little carrying case. And inside it's full of hardware and stuff. And there's a lot of nuts in here that are stainless steel. Nice nylon lock nuts. So don't know what the story is behind it, but it's good hardware and it's a good bin. So that was cool. It's pretty nice. And then we got some small tools. This is where the magnet comes in handy. He just found these floating around in the bin. So I'll come around and show you guys what we got. We got some sockets on the top, including a Challenger USA. Next up is a Fleet USA. We've got an old Snap-on. Got a Mac socket, Sabina, Ohio. This is also made by Mac, but it's marked EPTW MT. This one's just marked chrome vanadium. This one here is marked Gullmite. And interesting, this one has all these points in it. Not really sure what that was for. If you guys know, let us know. This is just a little micro 1/4-inch socket marked USA. SK 3-inch extension. Got a little Stanley flat blade. And a couple pairs of pliers. So this one here is Bridge Tool Co. St. Louis. Pretty cool old slip joint pliers. This is a Fuller slip joint pliers made in Japan. And this little pair here is a Barkalow Buffalo. And probably one of the coolest pieces that came out of this one is the Durochrome 3/8 drive speed crank. Can't say I've seen a Durochrome one before, so that was pretty cool. Then about last week, we were on a job site excavating to put in a paver patio, and I found some glass buried where we were digging. So this is marked Jacob Rupert Brewer, New York. Looked it up. This company started brewing, I think, in the 1800s and brewed up until 1965. Nice old beer bottle. Nice blue glass. Pretty cool. And then I found this one here. It's a Vaseline bottle. Trademark Vaseline in Cheeseboro, New York. And both of these came packed full of dirt and mud, and I stuck them in the ultrasonic cleaner. And that worked really well. This came out fantastic. The brewer bottle is kind of scratched up, but that's just from being underground. But you never know what you're going to find. Pretty cool. Then we were coming home from that job site the other day, and somebody was throwing some stuff out on the side of the road. And in there was this Swingline Model 200 stapler, 3 pairs of hole punch, unbranded, and then a Utica number 52 USA made brake drum pliers. And we were just doing brake drums the other day, and you kind of need to have a couple pairs of these on hand because sometimes they're made a little bit differently. Sometimes the angles are a little bit different, length, all that. And we probably could have used these the other day. We were using the pairs that we had, and you know when you struggle on drum brakes, the right tools make one heck of a difference. And then a good friend of mine, Chris K., he's a viewer of the channel, he sent me some gifts in the mail. So we've got a Craftsman vanadium screwdriver. So this is one of the older ones when you see the vanadium on there. Instead of saying Western Forge, it says vanadium. You got the double line Craftsman. It does say Western Forge, so instead of the vanadium, now they have the part number. Pretty nice condition on there. Got this Craftsman in the box micrometer. So this is a 0 to 1 inch micrometer with the manual and stuff. Pretty nice. You can see the Craftsman here, made in USA. Not sure which company made these for Craftsman, but seems to be a nice quality. And then I got 2 monkey wrenches. So Chris knows I'm a diamond collector, also a wrench collector, and he got a bunch of diamond monkey wrenches in a tool haul recently, so he sent me 2 pairs. I believe we're looking at the 12-inch and the 15-inch. And they're nice. They're in good shape. A little bit of surface rust that I'm going to clean up and get that going again. And then, this, I'm still shocked. This also came out of the transfer station. My dad called me the other day and he says, Kurt, there's a Makita cut-off saw in the bin. Do you want me to grab it? And I said, yeah, these saws are expensive. Now we have 2 of these saws, steel brand, the TS420 we use for the landscape business, cutting pavers and such. And they're about $1,400 new. This is an older Makita, you know, maybe it's 10 years old or so. But, I mean, this is a 14-inch demo saw, so it's not a cheap item. So we got it, we brought it home, it wouldn't run. The fuel, somebody mixed some really heavy 2-stroke mix, and it was super oily. It fouled up the plug. Carburetor was pretty disgusting, so we took the whole thing apart, cleaned everything out, put a new spark plug in it, drained the fuel, replaced the fuel, and now it runs great. Nick just had to do a little bit of carburetor adjustment. I replaced the water line because that was all damaged. These just get damaged from the sun. The UV rays just break them apart after a while, so I put a new water line on. And this thing is good to go. Runs really well. That's, you know, a really good find, especially for free. We didn't even put any money into it. We had everything we needed to fix it on hand. And now we're looking to probably pass it on to somebody else. We got it on Facebook Marketplace, looking to get about $400 for it. So we'll see if somebody wants it. Then I got a couple of projects over here I want to show you guys. So this Craftsman hammer was sent to me by Resto Rob maybe a month or two ago. It's that old underline C Craftsman logo, that kind of oval logo there. So when I got this hammer, it was completely beat up. The handle was cracked and broken. The hammer itself, somebody beat on this end, so I had to kind of grind all this down, clean it up. And then I just brought it to the belt sander on the conditioning belt and just kind of cleaned up everything. This is going to be a hammer that I bring home and use in the shop, so I didn't go too nuts. There's some pitting in here, so if I were to bring that down all the way, we would lose the logo, and I didn't want to lose that. So I'm fine with the way it looks. I could go deeper and take care of the pitting and everything, but it's not really going to be a showpiece. This is actually going to be something that I use. I just like stuff like this. I like to just use these old tools. I think they're cool. So I put a replacement handle on. I've got a nice stash of handles from used tools that weren't gonna be worth it to keep, so I keep the handles, turn them into better stuff when it comes around. And then got a little project that we're gonna do on the channel today. So this is a snap-on 24-inch breaker bar that I got in a tool haul a while ago, and it's an old vintage one. And when I got it, the top was missing. So I went online, and you can get the replacement kit from Snap-on for $12 and change. So the kit is RKBB3. Now they don't actually make a kit for this breaker bar. The part number on this is SN24B. I couldn't find a kit for the vintage one, so I went and bought a kit for the newer breaker bars. And the difference between the new ones and the old ones is the old ones had like a dowel pin that you'd peen over, and the new ones come with this screw thread pin. You put a Torx in there, and it has threads in there, and you just screw it in. But since we don't have those threads on this one, everything else is the same. I grabbed a dowel pin that we had lying around, and we're just going to cut that to size. We just need to squeeze this back together. That probably got expanded when whoever broke it. And then we'll peen it over, and we should be good to go. So give us a second to get set up, and we'll show you guys the process of fixing this breaker bar. All right, so we got the breaker bar set up in the press, and we're just going to slowly and carefully apply some force to the end there, just trying to return that back to where it should be.
Hold the end of that.
So it looks like we could do a little bit more. Still got a little bit of play in here. It's not bad, but we could definitely do a little better. This is the kind of process that you just want to take your time and just go slow. You don't want to screw this up. So we got everything pressed back down, and now Nick's just kind of aligning everything and giving the pin just a little test fit. Looking pretty good. We just got to trim that pin down and peen it over. Nick's going to take the grinder now and trim the pin down to where we need it to be. Just like that, we got a nice clean cut. Didn't hit the breaker bar too much. Knew we were going to get a little bit, but it is just an old breaker bar. It's not a big deal. Now just for some finishing. So the final step, we take our punch and we're just going to peen over the end of this just to keep the pin from coming out. Well, that should do it. So now we took a little bit of 3-in-1 oil, we dabbed it in there, and now we're just kind of breaking it in. When we do this, we've done this a couple times with the flex head ratchets, and we like them tight so that it's not just flopping around all the time, because when you're using the tool and you got a socket on there and you're on a fastener, you know, you should be able to turn it just like this. But we just like to break it in just a little bit, but we like it tight. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the repair and also just taking a look at some of the stuff that we came across in the last month. I want to thank you guys for watching the video today, and as always, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think your favorite find of the day was. So.